Hello, my scientists. Come on in, welcome. Come to your table. You'll notice at your table you have lots of materials here. Go ahead, leave your materials on your desk and look up at me and let me see your eyes. So, today we will be doing a fun activity. So I want you to look on your table with your group and you see you have a fish. And this is a sponge fish, and his name is actually Freddy. And Freddy here lives in a river. And you can see this is Freddy's river, and it's crystal clear water. How do you think that Freddy feels living in his crystal clear river? Happy? Yeah. He feels good? Yeah, I think so too. He has a crystal clear river. He can swim around, he can breathe. He looks happy to me. So I'm gonna read you guys a little story. This is Freddy the fish. He lives in crystal clear water along the riverbank. One day, Freddy wondered what was beyond his part of the river, so he headed downstream to find out. Freddy gets to a spot where bulldozers are taking out trees and clearing the land. Soil and dirt roll into the river, and Freddy gets soil in his gills. So take your soil and go ahead and dump it in Freddy's river. So now the soil is in Freddy's river and it's in his gills. As Freddy continues down the river, he spots some cows getting a drink. And while they're drinking, they drop some presents into the water. So take your presents and drop them in the water. Freddy is not impressed with the smell of the dirty water. Freddy comes to the part of the river where the golf club likes to keep their courses looking nice using fertilizer. Sadly, when it rained last, the fertilizer ran off into the river. Here's your fertilizer. Go ahead and dump it in. Wow, you can already see Freddy's water is not crystal clear anymore. After a while of swimming, Freddy started to notice a salty taste and felt a sting in his gills. All the salt used on the roads in the winter worked its way into the river. Let's take your salt, add that salt to your river. Wow. Ouch, it's hurting, cried Freddy. How do you think Freddy is feeling now? Take a look at his water. It's very dirty. You can barely even see the crystal clear water anymore. So take a second, talk with your group. How do you think that Freddy is feeling right now? All right, I'm hearing a lot of people saying that Freddy's sad, or Freddy's feeling mad, or maybe he's in pain. Remember he said, ouch, my gills, or ouch, it's stinging. Yeah, so we think that Freddy's not happy. Freddy was happy in the beginning, but he's not so happy now. So let's keep reading. Freddy continues on and passes a park. The wind blows trash and litter from the park into the water. Take your litter. Blows it into the river. Freddy is feeling distressed, but keeps swimming. It starts to rain, but this rain is different. It's acid rain from the air pollution. Here's your acid rain. Dump it in there. Freddy swims faster, passing an old factory. There are lots of toxic materials seeping into the river, creating a sludge. Freddy tries to swim through. Here's our toxic materials. Ooh, it's so dark. Look at that water. It's dark, dark. Freddy finally gets through the sludge, but he notices a man dumping oil from his car into the river. Here's our oil. Dump your oil in. The oil gets into his gills and he can't breathe. He gasps and takes his final breath. Uh-oh, Freddie didn't make it. So, what happened to Freddie? Talk with your group. Tell me, what happened to Freddie? Yep, Freddie didn't make it. Freddie has so much stuff in his water that used to be crystal clear, and he couldn't breathe from all of the stuff in his water. So, why did Freddie die? Talk with your group. Tell me, why did Freddie die? Yeah, Freddie died because of all of the things that happened to him while he was swimming through the river. All of the stuff that dumped in his clean water made the water too dirty for him to breathe or for him to live. So, does anybody know what this is called when all of this stuff is getting dumped in this river? All the trash and the oil and the fertilizer, all of this stuff. What is that called? Does anybody know? Pollution. Yes, it's called pollution. Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials to the environment. So anything that's not supposed to be in the water, like in Freddie's crystal clear river, anything that's not supposed to be in there is pollution. So every single little thing that we added, like the soil and the fertilizer and the acid rain and the oil, all of the things we added to his water is pollution. So his water became polluted. And that's what happened to Freddie, and he couldn't breathe anymore. So the pollution made him die because he couldn't breathe. So we need to talk about what are some ways that we can prevent the pollution. How could we have prevented the pollution of Freddie's river? I want you to talk with your group. Brainstorm different ways to prevent any of this pollution from happening. What could we do to keep the cows from dropping their presents? And what can we do to keep oil from being dumped in the river, or acid rain, or fertilizer coming in the river, or soil? Brainstorm some ideas. How could we prevent this pollution? In our next lesson, we're going to learn some ways that pollution can be prevented and some ways that we use on the earth right now to prevent pollution.